Welcome to Obstacle Running Adventures,
the podcast that fuels your passion for obstacle course racing,
running, and all things adventurous.
Whether you're a seasoned pro or a weekend warrior,
we've got news updates as well as interviews with athletes
and other key members of our athletic community.
As a weekly show since 2017, we have covered everything from
championship and virtual races
to fundraising events and FKTs. And now, here are your hosts,
Michael Stefano and Caitlin Ritter.
Standing on the corner, lost all my clothes.
Hey guys, it's Michael Stefano.
And Caitlin Ritter. And Mikey, how was your weekend?
Not too bad. It went by way too fast. Saturday was... well, everything you'll hear in this episode.
Only half of what we did.
That's true. That's a very good point. And then Sunday, we ran out of oil in the house. That was fun. We needed emergency oil because we weren't home enough to realize that we had been running out, and we ran out.
And we might be running out again.
Yeah, we'll see. They're supposed to come back today or tomorrow. So it's looking like tomorrow. But then we also got to meet our friend's baby.
Yeah, she was so cute. You know what it made me want to do?
Nope. Let's give a shout out to our sponsors.
Shout out Mudgear. Use code ADVENTURE for 15% off your next Mudgear purchase. Caterpie. Use code OCR Report 20 for 20% off your next Caterpie purchase. And use code OCR Report 20 off your next Spartan, Tough Mudder, or DECA event.
Perfect. We're going to shout out the $3+ Patreon supporters because it's the first episode of the month.
Jason Dupree, Samantha Thompson, Matt Putton, Bradley Keel, Charlotte Engelman, Aaron Grindstaff, Cheryl Miller, Laura and Stephen Ritter, Hank and Arlene Stefano, Jessica Johnson, Christopher Hoover, Kevin Gregory Jr., Evan Irick, Ashley Rice, Brent George, Justin Manning, Logan Nagel, Angela Bowers, Thomas Peterson, Seth Renderknecht, and Steve Bacon, part of the New England OCR Expo.
And...
oh, we got a new one! Robert Landman. Wait, is he back?
I think he's back.
Welcome back.
His email seems fraudulent. I'm not going to call him out for that. But hopefully you're the real Robert Landman. We just saw you at DECA. Well, I just saw you at DECA. It was great to see you again. I didn't get to talk to you as much as I wanted to. I felt like that day kind of flew by, but it's good to see you again. Thank you so much for the support. We greatly appreciate it.
That's awesome.
And to the OCR Report for being a great home for us on the internet.
And to Will Hicks.
The Podfather. Check it out over at theocrreport.com. It was apparently everyone's birthday.
Just Carlo and Jason.
Okay. Did I hear that? I thought I heard it was like Will's too. Or something.
I guess Will put like a fake birthday on his Facebook to like protect his identity.
That sounds like the most Will Hicks thing ever.
Let me just go wear a black hat.
Even the things that you think you know about Will, you don't actually know about Will.
That's correct.
And a shout out to our sponsored athletes.
Javier Escobar,
who's deadlifting 375.
Kelly Sullivan,
who will be at the New England OCR Expo.
Ryan Brizzolaro,
train with him over at rhinorunning.com.
Joshua Reed,
who can play the piano pretty well. He's playing the Peanuts theme.
I saw that. Kevin Gregory,
who hosted the first official DECA Atlas last weekend. Yeah. Let's get to some poll results. Did we do a poll? I don't know if we did. I don't think we did. And that's okay. We're also going to skip Meme of the Week this week and get right over to quick news, which is, in fact, very quick this time.
Mike and I are going to the Mud, Sweat, and Tears event on April 19th in Randolph, New Jersey. So if you are in the area, you should stop on by.
Yeah, if you're into hybrid racing, this is a must-attend event. Looking forward to covering that event. It's coming up soon.
And you'll get to see us.
Yeah. Obstacle Wonderland is also hosting their Spicy Weekend event. You can use code ADVENTURE for 15% off. It's a discount off of any race distance that weekend. Also, the New England OCR Expo is going to be April 5th, so that's coming up quickly as well.
I Am a Spartan posted a screenshot email from Spartan Race saying, "Get ready to unleash your inner warrior. Due to overwhelming demand, we're stoked to announce that we're adding an open heat beast to the 2025 West Virginia Spartan Trifecta World Championships."
Yeah, I couldn't imagine why they wouldn't have that before, because the open heat is how they make money. So I don't know, there may be more to it, but I was glad that they posted about it. And we're going to go right on over to podiums, which it's just listed as the Jacksonville Super. I'm pretty sure this is the first of the National Series, but it's not getting any attention because, unfortunately, Spartans kind of killed the sport here. No offense to these athletes, I'm sure they're pretty phenomenal.
Michael Henry. In third place for the men, Richard Shin. In second place, Matteo Paliza. And in first place, Adam Beach.
Adam, we know who you are. And looking forward to finding out who the other two are eventually.
And for the women in third place, Taylor Phoebus.
Oh my God. I think that's Underdog Fitness, the woman that got engaged. She has the dog Spartan.
Oh, yeah.
Congrats to her.
In second place, Claudia Bongiovanni.
Very fun last name.
And in first place, Cassandra Gill.
Who loves her ice cream.
Same.
Yeah, she's awesome. And that's all we have for quick news, but there is 5 secret links down below, so go and check those out if you want. But we will get into what this episode is all about. So we have covered the Boston Run Show for the past couple years. This year it was combined with the Boston Outdoor Expo. So we weren't sure whether or not we were going to go and cover it this year because it was later on in the year than usual. And events are starting up, but we made the trip and booked a hotel to just cover Saturday. But even though we just covered one day of the event, we were able to get over 60 interviews, causing us to split everything into a part 1 and part 2. So this is obviously part 1.
And by we mean you.
Yes, you helped a little bit.
Okay, are you ready?
Yep.
Run to Run, Togs, Merrimack Company, Splash Maps, Owl Skills, Jereko Gear, Mind Body Snacks, Bullmoose Softgoods, Mix Up Foods, Sucker Punch Pickles. Remember when I stole a pickle from them?
Yep.
Matt Champness, Art, Fitt Safe, Doug Flutie Jr. Foundation, Achilles, Soldier Solutions, Friends of the Blue Hills, Charles Street, Family Chiropractic, Scott DeDeo, Alzheimer's Association, Pumpkin Man Triathalon and Running Festival, Running Peas, Butt Napkins, Max Performance, Trail Animals Running Club.
Yeah, so that's a lot. Some of these were repeats from last year, and some of them are events that I've been wanting to check out. Hopefully, maybe I'll check them out this year. Who knows? But let's get right to all of those interviews.
My name's April Bolette. My company's Run to Run, and I'm from Batcave, North Carolina. And my visors, which is my product, One Piece Construction, Poly Spandex, Comfort is the name of the game, Wick Sweat, machine washable.
How long have you been around?
I started during COVID developing the visor, and then I had to find a pattern maker, and then along with that, a sewing company. And during COVID, you can imagine, very tough. So another woman-owned business in Fletcher, North Carolina, which is near me, near the airport in Asheville, produces my visors. So it's woman-owned, and it's all women that are working in the warehouse.
Talk to me about the importance of supporting women-owned businesses.
Yeah, I just... ever since I was a young girl, I've been, my first thing was selling Girl Scout cookies. My mother was an entrepreneur. I helped her with her businesses, and I just think and it's not to say just women, but I think all small business needs to support and uplift the other ones, right? Not tear down. Sometimes in women, sometimes that happens. But yeah, and I really support the company Excelsior Sewing, that is the one that produces this for me. Because without them, I wouldn't be able to be in business because I'm a small business. I'm not producing mass production at a bigger facility.
So it looks like, yep.
Oh, I was going to say, you need to ask her what's so important about our visors.
So Comfort, so the one-piece poly spandex, so you don't have any pinching. You don't have Velcro that gets stuck in your hair. That's something that people have said to me. And it's not just for runners. It's for all outdoor activities. So let's say you go to those adventure centers. This is something we found out. You can't wear a ball cap under those protective headwear they give you. But this you can. And in a bicycle helmet as well. So it's low profile if you wanted more brim. So comfort is the key. Comfort is...
Describing it's mainly it's a headband but with a visor front,
with
so
a
it's
plastic brim. Yes, yeah. So it's one piece construction, poly spandex with the plastic brim, and then this here, the logo is reflective.
Oh, that's important too.
So yes, all of it, the oranges as well, just a different reflective component to it. So
I know it just started.
Yes.
We got to you first, but how are you enjoying your time here at the Boston Run Show / Outdoor Expo?
Well, I'm enjoying it. It's the first time I've ever come to Boston. And I'm a runner that runs. So I got my, 1,146 day in today running.
Wonderful. Wow.
So,
that's impressive.
Yes.
What's with the raffle tickets?
So if you come by and scan this one, you fill out a Google form. That way I'm able to capture information to put you on an email list. Yep. And then the other one, if you scan this, is my Instagram. So when you show me this, then I'll give you a raffle ticket, and I'll give away a visor. I'm not sure if I'll do 2, today and 2 tomorrow, something along those lines. We're going with, that's what I meant. I already sold my first pink visor this morning. So a lady, that's why there's 2 tickets in there. So, and where are you all from? Here locally?
Yeah, more or less. We're about 2 hours south. We cover like obstacle course racing. We travel around and yes. And so we have a good time with that. But we've supported this company for the past 2 years, and it's a fun time. Come out to Boston, make a weekend out of it maybe. And where can people find out more about you guys online?
So Run to Run Gear. So that's RUN, the number 2, RUNGEAR, and .com. And you got my website.
Awesome. Well, thanks
and
for taking
then my Instagram is Run to Run Gear as well with the Instagram. Thank you for having me.
Time.
I appreciate it.
I'm Paul Elias. I'm from Cambridge, Massachusetts, and Cape Cod.
And what are you here representing today?
A new product we're just launching now called Togs, which are these socks that go over your trousers and are impregnated with permethrin, and they protect you against ticks as you're walking. A tick climbing up gets stuck under there, and this is permethrin is fatal to ticks.
Oh, interesting.
As well as repelling them. So where we go on Cape Cod, there are 3 different species of ticks, each carrying different kinds of diseases and allergic reactions. Yes. And so this is, for 10 years we've been producing these, and now we're making them generally available.
That's right. So many people are familiar with the deer tick, but tell me about the Lone Star and the American dog.
So the dog tick is sort of the classic tick in New England. It's the large tick that we've always seen. It carries Rocky Mountain spotted fever and a couple of other things, but it's quite rare that one gets sick from a dog tick bite. The black-legged or deer tick is the one that really carries many, many diseases: anaplasmosis, ehrlichiosis, tularemia, etc., babesiosis. And those live in the leaf litter. They're very small ticks, and you can get bitten by even the microscopic larvae, and they will transmit many things. Then there's the Lone Star tick, which is a new arrival on the south coast of New England from the south, and that can give you the red meat allergy that can last for months or years, including both nausea and also hives at the same time. It's very unpleasant after the barbecue.
Yes, yeah.
So that's what we're trying to protect people against.
Yeah, it's terrifying because anything that's out there to get your blood and spread diseases, also make you allergic to things, terrifying.
Yeah, ticks are basically a hypodermic system, and whatever they get infected with, they inject into you. So other things may come that are even less attractive than these diseases.
Yeah. So what made you see the gap in the industry and the need to fill it?
Well, my extended family lives all on one island down near Woods Hole, and people began to stop coming because they were so worried about tick-borne disease, and so we developed these 10 years ago and distributed them to everybody so that people could walk more comfortably in the woods and on the trails. So we finally have enough time to go ahead and do some production. We're producing them in Fall River. We're doing 2,500 pairs now, and so we're launching today. So it's good.
And tell me about this roulette wheel. What are you doing?
So our thesis is that every walk in the woods in tick country is a spin of the wheel.
Yeah.
So what you do is here, if we spin this roulette wheel and we roll the ball, it will land on one of our numbers, and each of them is a different scenario. Oh. So there, 18 is red. That's good news.
Okay.
Red is good. So let's look and see what happened to you. Good news. Warrior Tick Togs saw some Lone Star ticks on your dog, but no bites on you. Phew.
That's fantastic. I love that.
So we're giving out, for people who have bad news and get infections, we're giving them their prescription.
That's excellent.
Or they get their little tick.
You're just talking.
Oh, I was wondering what those are. Yeah.
This is the little tick that you can stick to your windshield, your mirror, or your window.
That's very cute.
So if you'd like a tick, you can have one. It says Tick Togs, don't get bit. Would you like
a little
one?
cardboard egg with googly eyes? Very cute. And then where can people find out more about you guys online?
We're at ticktogs.com, and we have the beginnings of an Instagram.
Okay.
We've just set up our website, And there's a QR code on this with some information, which people can also, if they go to TikToks.com, they'll find information and can send us their contact, and then we'll notify people when we get our spring production next month.
And how are you enjoying your time at the Expo? I know it only just started.
It's been great. It's great. There's some really great vendors here. It's wonderful to walk around. Some of the best firms are here.
Appreciate your product. That's something to definitely look into. Ticks are terrifying. But have a great rest of your weekend.
Okay, thank you so much.
So my name is Ken. I'm from Lowell, Massachusetts, and I represent the Merrimack Company.
Tell us all about it.
Yeah, so the Merrimack Company, as I said, we're based in Lowell. We focus on environmentally responsible apparel and accessories. So you use organic and recycled materials for everything, smaller impact on the planet, higher quality stuff that's going to look and feel great, hold up to an active lifestyle, and last a long time.
It's important to hit both of those. Like, it's good to be sustainable, but it's also important that it's sustainable for you. Like, it fits, it feels good, it works.
Right, absolutely. It's got to last. You're not going to wear it if it's not comfortable. You're not going to wear it if it chafes and feels weird when you run. So we start with, higher quality stuff. So no compromises, but you're still making the more responsible choice when it comes to the environment.
What made you want to start up this company in the first place?
So long story short, I had been wanting to do my own business for a long time. I had worked at some of the high, well-known tech companies out west in Silicon Valley, and again, left those. And then did some values work and really wanted to launch something that was important to me. So my 3 core values are community, nature, and adventure. And so I wanted to build something that I could live and exercise those values every day. And so that's where the Merrimack Company was born, lifestyle brand that focuses on just the community, nature, and adventure.
Tell me, what do you have for products?
So we have some really great Supima cotton long sleeve tees. It's the highest quality cotton grown under really strict environmental standards in California. We've got some men's joggers. We've got some women's leggings. We've got t-shirts. We have what I would argue is the best beanie in the world. We've got a really nice merino wool cashmere blend beanie. My personal favorite. I'm wearing it now. I wear it almost all day, every day. We've got some other beanies and hats, and then we haven't forgotten about your adventure buddy. We got some stuff for the pup as well. Really great dog leashes that we make from upcycled climbing rope. We've got some real high quality, similar to the Yeti style dog bowls in 2 sizes. We've got a really great travel dog bowl that collapses and zips open with 2 pouches for food and water. And we've got some backpacks and crossover bags, and then we've got some really nice hats as well.
Yeah, great. And I know it's still early on, but how are you enjoying your time at the Expo so far?
It's great. I come back to these all the time. This is my second outdoor expo. I do the ski and snowboard expo for the last couple years as well, so always happy to be a part of these events.
And where can people find out more about you guys online?
Yeah, so you can go to themerrimackcompany.com, or we're most active on Instagram, which is just at the Merrimack Company.
Awesome. Thanks for taking the time to talk to me.
Thanks so much. I appreciate it.
So I'm David Overton, and I'm from Great Britain.
And what brings you here?
I'm here for the Boston Outdoor Expo to really promote and introduce people to the idea of splash maps, which are fabric maps.
Tell me all about them.
So it's inspired by World War II escape and evasion maps, where they printed maps on parachute silk because they were silent to use. They could hide them, conceal them. They could be passed in and out of prisoners of war camps, that sort of thing. Yeah. But they're also ridiculously easy to use because you don't have to fold them. You can mark them up with a pen. You can put them in the washing machine afterwards. And they're used by the Special Forces in Great Britain. We're trying to get them introduced into the States as well, because we believe people can enjoy more adventure habits when they follow a fabric map.
It's pretty brilliant. I think it's very cool to see. When did you start this?
12 years ago. Yeah, so we're quite established in the UK, but just breaking into the USA.
What are some examples of some maps that you brought today for the Expo?
Well, right here we've got Mount... I'm going to pronounce this wrong.
Monadnock.
Thank you very much. And Mount Wachusett we've got on the stand here. We've also got the Grand Canyon and Yosemite for more of the vacation areas. Historically, on the bucket list, we've got a map here that's got all of the bomber bases in Great Britain, where the Americans served during the Second World War, and that actually sells at the Mighty 8th Museum as well in the USA. At Chiang Mai. And we can make a map of anywhere that you wanted in the world. So you can set it right up here on our computer. In this country, it's USGS.
So how does that process work? Like if someone wanted to order online, they just kind of give a recommendation? Like, could it have a map of X and then you print it?
You bet. Just go onto our website. It will set you up a preview of the map that you've chosen, and then you just press the button, and then you could even choose, does it want to be a good hardy map, or does it want to be an elegant satin scarf? Does it want to be a robust tablecloth, or does it want to be a microfiber towel? So if you're going on holiday, those can be quite useful as well.
I love it. Where can people find out more about you guys online?
It's anywhere on social media. It's at Splash Maps. You'll find us on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and X. And you can find us at www.splash-maps.com.
Well, thanks for taking the time to talk to me and enjoy your stay in the States.
Well, thank you very much.
Hey, I'm Jessie Krebs from Pagosa Springs, Colorado.
What are you here representing?
I have two businesses, Owl Skills, which is outdoorsy women learning survival skills. So it's women's survival classes. We get together, have a great time, no pressure, just women supporting women in really hardcore, awesome skills and really fun environment. And then I also do corporate events and speaking engagements through jessiekrebs.com.
So my wife is self-admittedly someone that's in dire need of survival skills. So how does one get started with you guys?
Just go to the website, owlskills.com, and you can find all of our classes. We have a couple coming up in the area, one on Tuesday. It's a one-day core survival basic up in Vermont, in Moncton. And then a winter survival weekend. So all about survival in cold conditions specifically. So what to do? So you get to camp out for the weekend, 2 nights on some beautiful property. We will spend some of it inside, just learning some basic skills. But we'll be out around the fire, sleeping outside. I tuck people into bed that first night to make sure their sleeping system is good, right? And help people stay warm and comfortable while they're out playing in the snow.
So you're saying that you had something that was planned today. I see a whole bunch of sticks, a bowl of I don't know what. So what are you guys doing for demonstrations and stuff here today?
So today we have I have 3 things going on. First, we're going to be doing the fundamentals of fire at 11. And then we'll be doing on the inspiration stage, talking about your number 1 survival goal, which is to get home. Yeah. Right? Survival, something went wrong, I want to get home now. So that bowl of liquid over there is actually sea dye marker. So when you're in trouble, it's just a small packet. You dump it over the side of a boat, or you can put it in tidal pools on snow, and it turns any water into that fluorescent yellowish green color. So it's an easy way to get somebody's attention to get home, right? So that's what the talk will be about today at 12, all about how to do different types of signaling and what the most effective are. Yeah. And then at 3, from 3 to 3:45, we'll be doing compasses and scouting techniques. So what to do if you get lost or confused or something goes wrong, and how to just use a basic compass to get from point A to point B.
I think that's hugely important. So my background is like obstacle course racing,
yes.
But something that's caught a lot of my attention is adventure racing. Yeah. But there is a big element of orienteering. Yeah. And you give me a compass, and I know, obviously, it points north, but next to that, like, I can't read a map or anything like that. It's a good skill to have.
It is, yeah. Even if you don't have a map, as long as you have an idea of which way to go to get to safety, it really helps if you have handrails, right? If there's a north-south running road, you go east and you're going to hit it, right? And that's all you have to do. So just make the compass point east, make sure you can get there, and you're good to go, right?
And some people say, like, everything can be solved with GPS. GPS has its faults, too. If you have bad connection, people completely shit out of luck. So it's good to have these skills, and especially since, like, I go running in the trail sometimes at night, and if something happens to me, like, how would I react? So it's very good that you're doing what you're doing.
Thank you. Agreed. I love wilderness. I want to protect wilderness, keep people alive, right? So people want to go out there. They won't hear how many people died in car accidents today, or of a heart attack, or literally slipped in the bathtub and died. They won't hear that. But if somebody got lost or hurt in the wilderness, it's all over the news. So it gives people a very skewed idea of how safe wilderness is. It's way safer than driving your car or literally taking a shower, right? But people don't understand that. And so if we don't connect to it, people won't preserve it. They won't protect it. They won't vote to do things to keep wilderness around. So part of my mission is to help people feel safer so they can go out there and connect with it safely and have a blast and know what to do in an emergency so that they understand the value, because it's wonderful getting outside, right?
Absolutely. And then one more aspect of it, like the protection of the parks and everything like that. We're in a time right now where that's kind of scary, the future of that. So what are your thoughts on the importance of protecting everything out there?
Absolutely. I mean, it's so important. We've already learned how much our mental health, like in America, our mental health is terrible, right? And we've shown, there's so many studies now that show that just walking outside and being in wilderness or even just around any kind of nature, other life forms, right? We cram ourselves into little cardboard, well, they might as well be cardboard boxes, right? We just put ourselves in this dead space where nothing changes and there's no life around us. And something changes in us, in our physiology and our makeup when we go out into wilderness. It's a fundamental part of being human that we're getting further and further away from it, and we're seeing the consequences.
Where can people find out more about you guys online?
Owlskills.com or jessiekrebs.com.
Thanks for taking the time to talk to me, and good luck with your talk up there.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
My name's Jeremy. I'm the owner of Jereko Gear. We're from a small town outside of Buffalo, New York. Primarily focus on 3D printed outdoor gear, not just specifically for hikers and backpackers, but for climbing and cycling. We also do a small selection of upcycled gear from items that are pulled from local hospitals or cans and debris we find on trail sides. But the main goal of my company is to lower the price ceiling for entering the outdoors. We mostly find that a lot of products in the outdoor industry now are incredibly overpriced, I'll say. And so we aim to lower that down and create unique solutions to items that don't yet exist in the outdoor space.
So I think the one that would definitely apply to or get the most attention from most of our listeners is the climbing equipment, since we need to work on our grip strength and finger strength for obstacle course racing and ninja. Tell me about the 3D printed things that you made.
Yeah, so we have one product called the Mono, which is specifically for weight training with a single finger, as the name would suggest in climbing. And then the Get a Grip, which is a triangular-shaped grip strength trainer where you can train at different depths of a certain climbing hold. They pair well with weights, resistance bands, and I think the number one concern that a lot of people have is, well, it's 3D printed plastic. It can't really be that strong. Most of these items are much stronger than people give them credit for and can easily hold a person's body weight. We obviously don't recommend that just for safety reasons, but they are able to perform in that capacity.
Well, I see you have a picture of Laz on the board too. What's your relation?
I've helped Laz out with during a couple races. It's primarily through my mother. She has helped Laz. She was crewing him when he was doing his transcontinental from East Coast to West Coast. She was with him for, I think, the longest period of time of any of the crew members, and crewed him across a bunch of different time zones and areas of country, including the entirety of the Oregon Desert. And so she's very close with him, and I've met him several times. So he offered to come by and do some photo ops as kind of a thank you.
Nice. Yeah, I think that's awesome. It's funny because a lot of people know him from his race, but people don't remember that he had a crazy ultra-endurance background himself.
Yeah, so he comes from a place of running, which I think a lot of people miss out, is they think he's just some older gent that's like making really tough races, but he comes from a very, dedicated running background, and that's kind of what inspired him to do a lot of these races.
But we're not talking about him, we're talking about you. Tell me about some other products that you guys have.
So our number one product that's popular by far is our driver. That is a small plastic piece that fits over the handle of currently the dirt saw and the deuce of spades, which are the most popular digging trowels on the market currently. Additionally, they also have a small circular cutout that fits a various number of tent stakes. We find that one of the number one problems in backpacking is that the sharp edge of any trowel generally cuts into your palm, or it'll easily cut into the bottom of your shoe or boot. And the same thing with tent stakes. There's not really a good way to do it unless you're bashing it with a rock. So we make a small, lightweight item that does both.
Smart. And then what are the cans here?
The cans are alcohol stoves. They're upcycled, so anytime myself or anyone from our family goes hiking, we collect cans off the side of the road and trails that we're hiking on, and we repurpose them and make actual stoves out of them. So it's not necessarily just picking up trash off the road. We're trying to do something with that.
Upcycling is hugely important. It seems to be the theme, at least this section of the Expo, which is good to see too. How are you enjoying your time at the Expo? I know it's still pretty early on.
So far, yeah, people are receiving the gear that we have here pretty well. This is my first time at the Expo, so apart from being nervous and being kind of new to the whole vibe of a giant convention center, it's going pretty well.
Well, you're doing well. The products I think are really interesting. And then tell me, where can people find you online?
You can find us at JerekoGear.com. That's spelled Jereko. In addition to all of our new products that we create, we also have used products as well as a full consignment program.
Awesome. Thanks so much for taking the time to talk to me, and good luck with the Expo this weekend.
Thanks.
Hi, I'm Kavita, and I'm from Lexington, Massachusetts, and I'm the owner of Mind Body Snack.
So tell us all about them.
So I started Mind Body Snack because there's so much preservatives and chemicals in our food, and I wanted to make a change, and that's why I started this. It's all healthy snacks with dates and a lot of superfoods. So not just removed things like, added sugar, sodium, oils, things that are not good for us. No chemicals, no preservatives, but I added superfoods that will benefit our health.
Yeah.
So, it's extremely nutrient-dense snack.
So there's a quote that I'm totally reciting off the top of my head, not reading off a sign. But to keep the body in a good health is a duty, otherwise we shall not be able to keep our mind strong and clear. From the Buddha. So tell me about the importance of that.
Yeah. So I think a lot of things that we can, take care is by taking, good food, putting good food in our body. And that's the key. If you are eating pure food, it will resolve 80% of your issues. And that's why, they always say 80% is food, 20% is exercise. So that's where I'm coming from. And that's why I created this.
You say that your brain is your second stomach, too. So if you don't take care of that, you can feel groggy. Some things that people can go years without realizing that they've been kind of almost poisoning themselves with food.
Yeah, definitely. If you're eating the right stuff, you are going to feel much better in your body. Like when I used to not eat the right stuff years back. And that's how I started this. When I was working in the middle of the day, I need something energizing and also something sweet. And I was like, okay, why am I eating those things? Because they're not good for my body. I started making this for myself 5 years back. And that is where I saw I had more focus, more energy. I felt much more energetic even till the end of the day. I was not dead, Yeah. So that is exactly what you're saying, It's what you eat, it'll just energize your, not just body, but your mind too.
I feel it's sometimes very backwards too. I was talking to my coach about this too. I was doing very good eating, and I'm I'm going to treat myself with, say, Burger King. You're not really treating yourself.
You're not treating yourself. You're, in fact, harming yourself, because, I mean, once in a while it's fine, right. But if you're doing, but if you're doing that on a regular basis, your body also gets used to it. Your body is so flexible. You give it bad stuff, it'll get used to bad stuff. You give it good stuff, it'll actually get used to good stuff. So after, starting this, because my product doesn't have any added sugar, the thing is that I don't even crave sugar now. And I have a lot of customers who come back and tell me, okay, you eat this instead of dessert, instead of a brownie, they will eat my hearty brownie. Yeah.
Well, then tell me about the flavors that you had. I tried the turmeric and the brownie one.
Yeah, so I have 4 flavors. The brownie one is the only chocolate flavor. The turmeric ginger is more like ginger snap. Then I have coconut, which has nuts and coconut, and I have pecan delight. And in fall through holidays, I also have a pumpkin flavor, which is very popular. Yeah. And all my products are vegan, gluten-free. There's no added sugar. It's all natural. So it also caters to people who are, have some dietary restrictions. So, yeah.
How are you enjoying your time at the Expo so far?
Oh, it's great. I was here last year too, and it is a great event. It's so interesting. I've already spoken to it's not even an hour in the event. I've spoken to at least 6 people who are it's amazing, people come and share their stories, and it's great event.
And then where can people find out more about you guys online?
Yeah, so we are online. People can always shop online at mindbodysnack.com. I do a lot of events and expos and, farmers markets and stuff. So my schedule is online too. And people can follow me on Instagram at mindbodysnackco. Yeah.
Thanks for taking the time to talk to me, and I'll let you get back to film those samples.
Yeah, thank you. It was great talking to you.
My name's Wes Hahn. I'm from Somerville, Massachusetts.
What are you here representing today?
Bullmoose Softgoods.
Tell us all about it.
Bullmoose Softgoods is a company. I make bags, primarily cycling bags, as well as wearables for running, hiking, any sort of adventuring, or just getting around needing to carry things.
You have some pretty eye-popping colors. What inspires you to design these?
My aesthetic inspiration is my mom's ski gear from the early 90s. All purple jumpsuit, though just the most plasticky plastic things you could find. No lack of saturation in any of the colors.
I see the bottles too. One looks very similar to a certain coffee brand around here.
I have no idea what you're referencing. It is purely coincidental. No, I'm a good New England boy. I love me some Dunkin' Donuts, and yeah, just taking inspiration from my surroundings. So when there's one in every corner, how can you not?
Absolutely. So how long have you been doing this?
I started the business in 2020, but I started sewing in about 2014 as a hobby. So a little over a decade of actually sewing and making bags and doing it quote unquote professionally for about 5 years.
That's awesome. I feel like that's probably like peaceful thing to do, or like, are you multitasking when you do it? Like, what is it like?
Yeah, it sort of depends. There's a few different styles of sewing. There's the bags that I know what I'm doing, and I'm just sort of in like a flow state type of situation. Yeah. Then there's working on something new or something custom where it takes a lot more care and you have to move a lot slower. So it kind of helps change things up as well, because when you do a run of 100 bags, by the end you're about ready to just sort of walk through a wall, and so it's nice to get a little bit of both.
Yeah, absolutely. And now it's still the very beginning stages of the expo, but how's it treating you so far?
So far so good, can't complain. Got some nice sun coming in from the window, so looking forward to it.
And where can people find out more about you guys online?
Either bullmoosesoftgoods.com or Instagram bullmoose_SG.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Have a good one.
My name is Kent, and I'm from Colchester, Vermont.
And what are you here representing at the expo?
Mixed up foods, and we make craft nut butter with tree nuts and other natural ingredients like maple sugar.
So I see you have like 4 varieties here. Tell me about them.
So, out of the 4, to keep it simple, 2 of them are basically chocolate and vanilla. The vanilla one tastes like cookie dough. It's a cashew butter made with maple and Madagascar vanilla bean. The chocolate one tastes like brownie batter. It's like our version of Nutella, but it's much healthier. So it's made with maple sugar, extra virgin olive oil, real vanilla. And then we have 2 other ones that are a bit more intense. We have a walnut pecan maple nut butter, which tastes like maple walnut cookie. And then we have a sunflower butter, and it tastes kind of like peanut butter, but it's not peanut butter.
Nice. So how long have you guys been around?
Since 2020.
A lot of 2020 startups around here, which I'm loving. What made you see like the gap in the industry that you wanted to fill here?
So it's not like we intentionally started it in 2020. It was something that kind of fell into my lap. And so my father used to eat 1 to 2 pounds of peanut butter a week. And he found this mixed tree nut butter at a store up near us in Vermont. And he fell in love with it, but they stopped carrying it. We don't really know why. And I personally love to cook. I also really value nutrition. So I naturally, what was in it, Dad? I'll make it for you. And it was better than the stuff at the store. And he said, hey, why don't we sell this online? Because I know you're about to graduate from college. You want to start a business one day. This could be a great learning experience. It could be a great business, but let's just explore it. And that was January of 2020, right before I was going to graduate. I also had a job lined up after graduation, but it fell through because of COVID. But I was thinking about turning it down because I was interning at the place 2 days a week. And, it was like that thing at 2 o'clock. It's like, is it 5 o'clock yet? And I felt like I didn't have a lot in common. Like, the corporate mindset's just different from mine, which is fine. But, things kind of just work out.
So it's one thing to cook a batch of this for your dad or your family. It's another to make it on like a mass scale. What was that expansion like?
Well, I first started making it in my basement. And the first one that I made for my father was just made in a tabletop food processor. And then we're like, all right, well, we can't be making it in a food processor. So we got one of those retail nut butter grinders that you see at the store. And I was making it like that. I was roasting the nuts myself. And then we got approached by an overnight oats company to do they're interested in doing a private label of our nut butter because they're looking for things to add on to their overnight oats. And that pushed us to explore other options. So there's a shared kitchen that's like a little over an hour from us in Vermont. And we went there to start making our product so we can make it at scale. And it was really rough starting off, learning how to use the equipment. Sometimes the equipment doesn't work the best. And that was in July of 2021. And now, we do production days where we're doing up to 1,000 jars a day. We do all the roasting in-house, and that's part of what makes our product really special. We're really focused on freshness. And it's taken time to really dial in the right roast level, the right texture, and then balancing the product that we want to make, and also how does that translate to how we can scale this thing.
Right, yeah.
And it's really challenging, and you can see why most of the stuff at the store isn't the best, because they are focused hardcore on bottom line. And in reality, most people just don't really know what a great nut butter is like, because the bar is just so low already. So, yeah.
And what's your favorite of the products?
If I had to absolutely choose, it would be Maple Bliss, which is the maple walnut pecan butter. And part of why I choose that one is because if I have a sweet craving, it'll satisfy that, but I can also use it in savory ways. So, for example, I'll do like a slice of baguette with a little bit of the walnut pecan butter on there, and then I'll do a little bit of goat cheese, some fresh herbs like thyme, and a drizzle of balsamic. But then I could also put it in my oatmeal with bananas or on ice cream. So it hits all the bases. But the runner-up would be the chocolate one. I just like hardcore love chocolate. I don't mess with milk chocolate. Dark chocolate's the way. So that one tastes kind of like brownie batter. And I used to love eating Nutella, but as I learned about nutrition, I'm like, I'm not putting this stuff in my body. So that's why I love it.
And then how are you enjoying your time at the Expo?
It's amazing. It's cool being around other businesses that are, maybe been around as long as I have. It's great too that there are some fellow New England businesses to connect with as well, because Vermont is such a special place, but we're also in our own bubble. So it's nice to break outside of that, connect with other people in the New England area, and then also just to be around people who genuinely, like health and wellness and outdoors. It's just cool because we don't have that many events like that up in Vermont. It's usually just farmers markets or other events we do are craft fairs, and people are selling like baked goods with all sorts of stuff, which is great.
It's different.
Yeah.
And then where can people find out more about you guys online?
So our website is mixedupnutbutter.com. We're on Instagram, Mixed Up Foods. Those are your best places to find us.
Thanks for taking the time to talk to me, and I'm going to try some of that maple stuff.
All right, I appreciate it.
My name's Jennifer. I live in Connecticut.
What are you here representing today?
We represent Sucker Punch Pickles, the best tasting pickle in the world.
Pickles are very big in the obstacle course racing community. Love a good pickle in terms of hydration. How long have you guys been doing this?
For about 10 years. Okay. Yeah.
And what are some of the varieties that you have here?
So today we have our 2 pickle shots, a classic dill and a spicy dill. And we have our 4 pickle pack flavors, classic kosher dill, a spicy dill with arbol chili, a 3 pepper fiery sweet heat pickle, and a bread and butter pickle.
What made you guys want to start this in the first place?
I am relatively new to the company, but it all started with a father who wanted a better pickle and needed to provide for his family.
And then I see some mustaches with adhesive here. What's that all about?
So as you can see on some of our products, we have a representative of the boxing community. So it's a tribute to his mustache.
So good. And what's your favorite of your products here?
I'm a tried and true classic kosher dill girl.
Okay. That's okay. So,
yeah.
And how are you enjoying your time at the Expo? It seems like you guys have been pretty busy.
It's getting a little bit busier. It's still pretty early in the day. Apparently there's about 25,000 tickets out there. So between today and tomorrow, we'll be pretty busy.
Where can people find out more about you guys online?
Online at suckerpunchpickles.com.
Thank you very much.
I'm Matt Champness, and I'm from just north of Boston. I'm from England originally, though, so...
And what brings you here to the Expo today?
Yeah, so I'm a watercolor and ink artist that specializes in painting ski mountains. So, yeah, part of the Outdoor Expo. I've done it for a few years now. It's been great.
So tell us about some of the mountains and places that you painted here.
Yeah, so I've done most of the Northeast mountains now. I've just returned from a trip to Colorado, so I've now got a bunch of new stock, so plenty of snow, and it was a good trip, so it's good fun.
What made you want to start this?
Do you know what the honest answer is? I was sitting watching TV one night thinking, I can't waste my life away, so I need to learn a skill. So I learned how to paint. And then just to really kind of carry on for my hobby of snowboarding, I was like, right, I'm going to learn to paint mountains, and then kind of went from there. So,
yeah. What have been some of your favorite places that it's taken you?
So we love Northern Maine, so Sunday River's our kind of is our place to go. But Colorado is just our favorite place on earth. So whenever we come there, we're like, why do we move there? So, it's our favorite place. So
we're a little nuts. Instead of going down the mountains, we typically run up the mountains.
Okay.
But I saw some good representation of places that we've done races. I saw Mount Snow.
Yeah.
I saw Stratton, where we got engaged.
Nice.
So what are some other places that you have here?
Yeah. So, I've tried to do a lot of independent mountains. So like Burke, Bromley, some of the smaller mountains. So up in Vermont and New Hampshire and stuff. So what I really want to do next is start to do more of New Hampshire. I've got one of each of New Hampshire, but I really want to kind of get in and do more of the summer mountains as well. So,
how are you enjoying your time at the Expo so far?
It's great. It's been great. Yeah, it's been busy, really busy, but it's been great. So
you said you've been here in previous years too?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I did last year, and then I do the Snowbound Expo, which is the ski one every November. So. Yeah.
So this is the first time it's been combined with the run show. You said you've seen a difference in numbers then?
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, the number of booths and the number of people is way bigger than last year. Way bigger. So, yeah.
Where can people find out more about you and your art online?
Yeah, you can go to mattchampnessart.com or you can follow me on Instagram and you'll see me. I'll be skiing around and painting on the mountains. So,
thanks for taking the time to talk to me and keep mastering your craft.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Nice to meet you.
Hi, my name is Faith Chiman and I am from North Carolina.
And what are you here representing at the Expo?
I'm representing Fit Safe. I am the founder of Fit Safe. We are a women activewear company specifically designed to keep female runners safe. All of our clothes are intelligently designed with functional pockets, reflective detailing. We want you to be able to just up and go. We want you to be empowered. We want you to run freely and live boldly.
So when did you start this up?
Oh, September of 2023.
Okay. So you're fairly new.
Yes.
This is where I typically ask, where did you see a need for this? But it's very obvious why there's a need for this.
So my background is legal. I am an attorney, mom of 3 kids. During the pandemic, I was feeling stuck, overwhelmed, and anxious. So I decided to go back to running because I did competitive track in high school. So I decided to start Fit Safe out of a personal need of mine because I worried about my safety. Because the only time that I could run was at 5:30 a.m. in the mornings. And as I dug into the research, I began to find that 92% of women, according to a recent study by Adidas, shows that 92% of women worry about their safety. The statistics are pretty insane. And I started Fit Safe because I wanted to open conversations about this topic. A lot of people don't want to talk about it, but unfortunately, it does exist. My biggest takeaway is I don't want women to feel scared or paranoid. I want you to feel empowered. We have products that range from a safety whistle, for example, it's called Flutter. It has a QR code you can scan free of charge and gain access to a customizable safety plan. Because I want you to think about your safety the same way you think about makeup, the same way you think about your clothing. If you take the time to think about it and craft a safety plan that works for you, because there's a lot of tips out there, but not everything is going to work for you. Not everyone wants to carry a pepper spray or whatever. Yeah.
It's scary out there, too, with a society of a lot of victim blaming. We'll see, like, oh, why that time of day? What was she wearing? A lot of bullshit like that.
Yes, that's really sad because I am part of a group. It's called the Female Runner Safety Summit. We attended the running event in December, and the sister-in-law of Alisa Lockett, she did everything right. So her sister-in-law was there at the event to speak about this. She was running at 2 p.m. in a highly populated area. She had pepper spray, so she had everything. She did all her homework. Her family knew where she was, and yet she was murdered. So I don't want the victim blaming, but I do want women to not disregard the topic and pretend like it doesn't exist. And I certainly don't want the fear mongering, which is why a big slogan of ours is we want you to run freely and we want you to lead boldly. Because this problem is not going away and we're not going away either.
Absolutely. And then what's something that men can do in terms of like helping with women's safety?
Oh, that's a great question. So men, we are not fighting men. I want to get that out there. Yes. Because many times when we post about safety on social media, there's just a lot of attack, especially from some men, not all of them. Yes. Yeah, so what men can do is if you see a woman running by herself, you can just don't just come at her in an intimidating way. Try to educate yourself about what women go through. We did a talk at Tree, and it was shocking because the women were crying because it was something that they struggle with as female runners, but a lot of the men were shocked. And some of them were hearing that for the first time. So I think the first thing that men can do is educate yourself. Ask your sisters, talk to your girlfriends, talk to other runners. The more you know about the problem, the more you know how to solve it.
That makes sense. I'd say more than anything, it's ignorance. It's exactly what you said.
Yes.
Educate yourself.
Yes.
Be aware that this is out there. I've heard some people say that when they're out in the wilderness, like they're afraid of bears, like the same way that some women are afraid of men. Like they're out there, and it's.
And sadly, don't try to be a savior. You know, sometimes I go for a hike, and the guy's just like, "I want to hike with you. I want to keep you safe." No, I'm fine by myself. No catcalling. The more you educate yourself about this, some things that they might feel is flattering is really not. because women just want to run in peace.
Yes, yeah. I'm the same. Leave me the fuck alone. That's totally fair. And then tell me about your sportswear.
So my bras, we are the only crop bra that has front zipper pockets, so we can fit a phone. A study by Run Girl shows that 92% of women carry a phone for a run, specifically for safety. And so I thought about designing a pocket that was right there in front, because then it's within reach. That way you can defend yourself quickly, you can call for help. And the great thing about those bras is it's not going to bounce up and down. It has great compression, specifically designed for runners. It has, the pockets are large enough to where you can put your keys, your ID card, your phone, so you don't need a fanny pack. And unlike a fanny pack, it's not going to bounce up and down because it has that hold. It also has a mesh lining, so it's not going to sweat out your phone. And then all of our pieces are made with highly reflective material, so you don't need an extra reflective vest. So it's just designed to be functional, super practical, and it's super stylish as well.
So how are you enjoying your time at the Expo?
Oh, I'm enjoying meeting people like you. I love coming to expos because it puts me right in front of my customers. It reminds me of my why. I love talking about, the subject of women's safety, especially in the running space. So I'm having a great time.
Where can people find out more about you and the Women's Safety Summit?
Okay, you can find out more about FitSafe at www.fitsafe.com. Please follow us on social media. We're on Instagram, we're on Facebook, we are also on TikTok.
Thanks so much for taking the time to talk to me.
Thank you so much.
My name is Joe Katuzik. I'm from Northampton, Massachusetts.
And then what are you here at the Expo representing?
I'm here with the Doug Flutie Jr. Foundation for Autism.
Tell us all about it.
So Doug Flutie obviously is a famous athlete here from Boston. His son was diagnosed with autism in 1998. He and his wife started the organization and has been benefiting the autism community overall since then by raising money and distributing it to those in need, both families and organizations now. We're here mainly at the Run Show because we have Dougie's Team for Autism, which presents opportunities for people to raise money while they run iconic races like Boston, but also our Flutie 5K program, which we have our flagship race here in Natick every year, and it raises about $500,000.
So, that's awesome. I'm a big fan of you guys for two reasons. One, I'm a runner, and two, I'm a BCBA for autistic kids. So both sides really hit home here. How long have you been with them?
I've been here since about 2023. I've been in this line of work for a long time, though, and there's no place like the Flutie Foundation, both in the way that, people can get involved. Our mission is very broad because it adds a lot of opportunity for us to say yes. And that's what I love about it, is we have such an incredible team here, and we make a lot of good things happen.
I've yet to go to one of the Flutie 5Ks, but have you gone to one of them before?
I organize them. Okay. Myself and Ethan, we're behind the scenes in every little detail. I haven't run it yet, but we get a lot of good feedback. We reached capacity this past year. It's very popular. We're actually looking for a new venue, so if anyone listening knows where we can have a 2,000 plus person race.
Very good problem to have.
Yeah, exactly.
Awesome. And then tell us a little bit more about how the foundation impacts people with autism.
Yeah, it's in so many different ways. I think right now we're getting the most of the requests that we're getting is people coming to us looking for adaptive running opportunities for their children. People who, running has become an outlet of sorts for their children at any age on the spectrum. And they're seeing their heroes like Delaney, who's sitting next to me here, is an adaptive athlete running Boston with us for the first time this year. Crossing that finish line, that's a really powerful thing. They get really inspired by that. Another thing we're seeing a lot of right now is people who become 22 years old and need services and age out of, a lot of the services that they've been getting their entire lives, and the family's trying to find a way to afford anything they possibly can. It can cost upwards of $60,000 to provide those types of services. Yeah. So between our grant cycles and the fundraising that we do that benefits other autism-serving organizations and residences all across the country, we're trying to hit every gap that we possibly can. Yeah. And our partners are a huge help in that.
It's tough because there's a lot of gaps out there, but love that you guys are doing what you're doing. How are you enjoying your time at the Expo so far?
Definitely. Lots of great people, a lot of good stories. It's a huge event, but it's a small world. You see people that they know you don't know them, but you should, because for whatever reason, you've been crossing paths over and over again. But we love coming here every year. We get to meet a lot of new people. I think we met Delaney here last year, actually. So it's really come full circle.
And where can people find out more about your foundation and the 5K?
FlutieFoundation.org overall. That's where you're going to hear everything that we're up to, including our STARS program, which I didn't get to talk about. But if you're interested in our Flutie 5K, which I think is our premier running opportunity, you can go to FlutieFiveK.com.
If we do have some more time, tell us about the STARS program.
Yeah, of course. So just like we have adaptive runners that get to follow their dreams and we help them accomplish things like running the Boston Marathon, we also have performers, singers, rappers, dancers, public speakers even, and we basically have our own talent agency. If the stars align, we're able to find gigs and more opportunities for those people to share their talents with the world. Our stars worked together on their own to produce and put out their very first album. We have some pretty famous names in the autism world, including C. Quig and Sierra June. You'll find their music on Spotify. We also have an all-inclusive choir, Spectrum of Sounds. It's a whole thing. If you go to FlutieFoundation.org, it's super cool what we're doing. Our marketing team handles that, and they're always, blowing everyone away with how progressive and new everything that they're doing every year.
I love what you guys do. There's a reason why you guys are on the top of the list if I ever want to do Boston Marathon. Hopefully fundraising for you guys or something. Thanks for taking the time to talk to me.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Joe Lamar from around here in the Boston area.
What are you here representing?
I'm representing Achilles International, the Boston chapter, and we are a nonprofit. We're the leading nonprofit in the sport of adaptive running.
So kind of go into that a little bit more. I know that we've met a segment of your team in Connecticut covering the Gaylord Gauntlet, which you guys have helped a lot of adaptive athletes through that. But tell me about what you guys do.
We make sure that we go and have athletes of any and all abilities be able to come out and just walk, run, and roll. We feel that, sport is for everybody, and it's our way to go and make sure, if they need hand cycles, if they need racing wheelchairs, running blades, we find a way to get that for them. If they need guides, if they're visually impaired, we get guides to make sure that they're set to be able to go and compete in whatever and everything that they want to do.
Because then a lot of, I guess we'll say, typical athletes that don't have a factor like that, they don't understand the financial costs of these.
Oh, yeah. I mean, equipment like this, we're standing next to a hand cycle right here that's a $7,000 bike. And I mean, for us to go out to Walmart, we just go and pay $200 for a bike and we'll be all set. But that's not the case for athletes with disabilities. The equipment is far more costly, for just like a cheap Huffy. This would be the cheap Huffy that you go and buy at Walmart, And then you go and look at racing wheelchairs and everything else, like the cheap racing wheelchair, you're talking $3,000. But to be a pro para-athlete, you're talking like $30,000 carbon fiber chair. You're talking a $40,000 hand cycle and everything else that's out there. So it's a bit, unfair and everything. But if the athletes are good enough, hopefully they get their sponsors and are able to go out and accomplish their dreams.
Yeah, absolutely. We've had a few incredible athletes on, Tatiana McFadden, Daniel Romanchuk, amazing athletes. If they weren't able to get into this system of sport, who knows if we would have been able to see their greatness.
Right. No, that's very true. And it's something that, we like to go and think of ourselves as being the ones to open the door for these athletes and make sure that they know and understand that, yes, anything is accomplishable. You just got to go and find us and we'll get it done and help you in any way possible.
What are some of the different ways, the different adaptabilities that you guys help out with?
Again, finding if they're amputees and need running blades, our biggest thing is to make sure we have the support there for them in any way that they need. Some things that you see, frame runners are out there now and everything, so we'll go and purchase the equipment if we get the athletes. Yep.
And then how are you enjoying your time at the Expo so far?
Oh, the Expo's been great. Hopefully get a few more guides signed up from this and hopefully connect with some new athletes because people just come by and say, yeah, so-and-so should do this.
Whether you're interested in being a guide or someone that wants to be guided, where can people find out more about you guys online?
You can go to Achilles International and pick whatever chapter is closest to you to be able to sign up.
Thanks so much for taking the time to talk to me.
No, thank you. Appreciate you.
My name is James. I'm from Connecticut.
And then what are you here representing?
We're here representing Soldier Solutions. We're a
we're working with a nonprofit organization that provides service dogs for veterans that suffer from PTSD or other physical disabilities.
How long have you been with them?
I've been with them for about 2 months. Okay. If you want to interview somebody with more experience, my boy Dom here has got a ton. He can tell you a lot more about what we're doing here and how we're helping our veterans out.
Talk to me about some of the shirts that you have here.
The shirts here are extremely patriotic. They're all pretty much a little bit of America. In my best words, I can describe that. Yeah, these t-shirts proceeds go to helping a veteran out by providing them with a service dog, training the service dog, all the work that goes into that.
How are you enjoying your time at the Expo so far?
So far, it's been amazing. I want to go try some of the food here. I want to try the coffee here. I can't complain. It's pretty cool.
Where can people find out more about you guys online?
We have a website, Soldier Solution LLC. They can look up there. We also have Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter.
Thanks for taking the time to talk to me.
Thank you.
My name is Jen Klein, and I live in Providence, Rhode Island.
And what are you here representing?
I'm here representing the Friends of the Blue Hills.
Tell us all about them.
Friends of the Blue Hills is a nonprofit organization, member-supported, that stewards and educates and promotes about the Blue Hills Reservation, Boston's largest urban open green space.
It's massive. I often forget about how big it is. We went to school at Curry, which is like right down the street, and we would typically hike these to train for our events. So what's the importance of what you guys do?
So without Friends of the Blue Hills, the trails in the Blue Hills simply wouldn't be maintained. That's probably the simplest way to put it. You'd probably see a lot more trash on the trails. You'd probably see a lot more fallen trees across the trails, a lot more flooding. We are the ones out there with our staff and volunteers maintaining all 125 miles of trails and picking up trash, picking up those poop bags that people don't clean up. That is us. We're really important to the park.
How long have you been with them?
I've been with the Friends of the Blue Hills for just a year. Yep.
What do you find so rewarding about it?
I love it. It's so community supported and community driven that's just jazzes me every day.
You know, you run, like how often do you use the trails?
So I get out on the trails. I wish I got out more. My job is definitely more office job. I'm the executive director, very focused on fundraising. But I do get out there probably once a week or so. Definitely I'm a big hiker. That's how I mostly use the trails. But they're really popular for trail running, mountain biking, equestrian use, snowshoeing, cross-country skiing.
Now more than ever, I feel like your role in our community is going to be important. How can the everyday person get out and make sure we're protecting our trails?
Yeah, that's a really good question. I think, yes, now more than ever, I think focusing local is incredibly important. So I think folks can certainly get involved and join as a member. I mean, we can't do our work without our member support, and to be a member of Friends of the Blue Hills is only $30 a year. But certainly volunteer. Our staff is only 4 people. So we have lots of volunteers that dedicate lots of hours. And so that's a really important way that people can get involved, is give us a call, send us an email, and volunteer for some trail work, for some litter cleanup, or join us for a hike. I think the other important part that we play right now is helping people find community and building community. And we really try to do that a lot through our hikes.
And then how are you enjoying your time at the Expo so far?
I love it. I love these kind of events. I love talking to, community members, finding out, who knows about the Blue Hills, who doesn't know about the Blue Hills. But I love finding out what people are interested in seeing out of our organization and out of our programming.
And where can people find out more about you guys online?
So you can go to our website, which is friendsofthebluehills.org.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
My name is Mary, and I'm from Charles Street Family Chiropractic.
And how are you enjoying your time at the Expo so far?
I am having a great time. A lot of great vendors here, meeting a lot of great people.
So tell me about what you're doing here.
So we are offering free posture screenings. We'll screen your posture, tell you how you're looking, see if it's something that we can help you with at our office.
And so one of the first things you had me do is step on the scale and realize that my body's all out of whack. I think more people need this, so talk to people about some signs or some reasons why they should potentially seek help.
Yeah, a lot of people aren't noticing their posture until we point it out to them. We have you put one foot on each of our scales, and some people are weighing a little bit more on one side versus the other, favoring one side versus the other. Ideally, those should be even. You should be evenly distributing your weight. And then a lot of people are noticing they have one shoulder higher than another, one hip higher than another, and these aren't things that you typically would notice until they're pointed out to you.
And it's one thing for a regular everyday person to have problems like this. It's another when you're a runner, and then it really highlights everything too. So what's something that you guys do to help with people?
Yeah, we see a lot of athletes in our office. Regular chiropractic care can help with that. We also offer custom orthotics that we've been offering to a lot of our runners and a lot of people who are participating in any activities.
And how long have you been working with the company?
I have been with Charles Street Family Chiropractic for about a year and a half.
And what do you like most about them?
I love meeting all of our great patients and having a lot of fun with my team.
And where can people find out more about you online?
You can visit our website at www.thebostonwellnessgroup.com. You can also follow us on social media, Charles Street Family Chiropractic. We're on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
Scott DeDeo, and I live in Belmont, Massachusetts.
And then what were you here giving a talk about?
So last June, I ran a race called the Tahoe 200, and I was giving some details on what it's like to run a 200-mile race, how you train for it, and how the race went.
It's hard to identify with an ultra athlete. I identify as an ultra athlete, but not 200 miles. My record's like 55 miles. What is it like building up to that type of crazy endurance?
Sure. So I've been running ultra marathons since 2011. I've done 45 races of marathon or longer at this point, and this was definitely a very long-term thing. Yeah. I did my first 100-miler in 2017, my second 100-miler in 2019, and then my goal originally was to do Tahoe in 2023. I ended up pushing it off a year. But yeah, it was definitely a long build-up over many years to get to this point.
Another factor with Tahoe specifically, too, is the elevation, which can hit people really hard. How was it getting used to that?
It was hard. Living at sea level, it was definitely my biggest limiter throughout the race. I had a fair amount of altitude-induced nausea during the race, especially when I was over 9,000 feet, which limited my nutrition intake while on the trail.
Right.
Thankfully, I was able to get full meals in when I was at the aid stations in between.
Yeah.
But it's hard, and the best you can do is the best you can do sometimes.
Yeah. And also in terms of like hydration too, it's tough to take care of yourself for that long of a distance.
Yeah, it is. Especially at Tahoe, the aid stations are 14 to 20 miles apart.
Okay.
And I ran with a 2-liter bladder, and during many legs, I had to refill that bladder from natural water sources. I tried to make sure that I took at least a sip of something every 15 to 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Most of the time out there, I had pretty decent weather. It was a dry heat, and it got up to high 70s, 80 degrees a couple times, but that was usually only for 3 or 4 hours in the middle of the day.
Okay.
Whereas early morning up until 10, 11 a.m., and then again after 4 p.m., it was very temperate weather, and I didn't feel like I was losing a ton of water through sweating.
So now with that huge accomplishment under your belt, what's next for you in terms of adventures?
Sure. So for this year, I'm not doing anything super long. Next up, I have a marathon on Madeira Island, which is a Portuguese island off the coast of northern Africa. Okay. It's famous because that's where Cristiano Ronaldo, the soccer player, grew up.
Oh, okay, cool.
But it's a volcanic island, so the marathon has 5,000 feet of climbing, for example.
Damn.
And then this October, I'm doing the Kodiak 100K in Southern California.
Okay.
And then hopefully one day that will lead to some type of race around Mont Blanc in France. But we'll see if I ever get there or not.
A big part of training hard is also recovering hard. What's the importance of recovery from these long ultra endurance?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. One of the things I went through in the talk was what my training looked like, and I make sure I take every third or fourth week as a down week and cut my mileage way back in order to recover. Recovering from Tahoe is specifically difficult because my fatigue dissipated very quickly within the first week and a half or two. And I wanted to get back out there and I wanted to run, but the musculoskeletal damage I had done took a solid about 4 months to go away. I actually ended up seeing a physical therapist for a hip issue, but once I started working with a physical therapist, I was able to fix that problem within a month.
And also in terms of like building up your engine too, do you employ
cross training as well?
I don't actually do a ton of cross training. I do mostly just running. I do a little bit of swimming. I've done a little bit of biking. I have done triathlons in the past, but I find when I'm in a steady state, I can run 70 to 100 miles a week without any huge effects. I have found that when I'm doing a lot of mountain running and lots of really steep climbing or descending, probably even more, that I have to be very, very careful because I can do a lot of damage to my hips quickly.
I don't want to take up too much more of your time, but final thoughts on how the Expo is treating you and where can people find you online?
Sure, the Expo has been great. I actually have been here since 9 o'clock this morning. I participated in the plogging run that they did. Yeah. This is my first time presenting at the Expo, and it's been a lot of fun. The folks that are organizing it have been great. You can find me on Instagram. My handle is Multisport Maniac, and you can also read about my adventures on multisportmaniac.blogspot.com.
Thanks so much for taking the time to talk to me, and glad your talk went well.
Sure, thank you very much.
Perfect, thank you. All right, thanks.
Yeah, I'm Anna DeMore. I'm from Waltham, Massachusetts.
And what are you here representing?
The Alzheimer's Association Mass New Hampshire chapter.
And how long have you been with them?
I've been with the association for 5 years now.
What do you love so much about working with them?
It's just a phenomenal cause, especially the people we get to work with every day who absolutely need our support services.
Yeah. So what's the difference between Alzheimer's and dementia?
Yep, so Alzheimer's is a form of dementia. I like to think about it as dementia being kind of an umbrella term with a lot of different types of dementia, whether that's Alzheimer's or Lewy body dementia or some other form.
Makes sense. And then what do you guys do as a foundation?
Yeah, so we have free support and programs for those facing Alzheimer's, whether you're a caregiver or someone living with the disease. And then we have tons of wonderful fundraising events to raise awareness, support, and funds for Alzheimer's and all our dementia.
Do you know anyone that's affected by Alzheimer's too?
Yeah, I think most of us it's hard pressed to find someone that isn't affected by Alzheimer's or dementia anymore. All of the volunteers here today at our booth have a direct connection to the cause. I myself lost my grandfather to Lewy body dementia as well as my aunt in 2020. So yeah, a lot of people are affected by the cause, and especially in when we go into large rooms of folks, we tend to ask people to raise their hand if they are affected by Alzheimer's or dementia or know someone who is, and typically 90% of the room's hands go up.
It's unfortunate, but you're absolutely right, which keeps you guys busy, I imagine, right?
Totally. We have 2 FDA-approved treatments for the early stages of Alzheimer's right now, and lots of momentum in the research field, and really just trying to keep that going and support as many folks as we can.
I saw that you have a box of seeds. Can you talk to us a little bit about that?
Yes, those are forget-me-not seeds. We ask people to plant those in honor or in memory of their loved ones. It's always something people tend to reach for, and nice to look out your window every day and see those bloom.
What's a way that people can help support this cause?
Yeah, I could go on about that for way too long. But we have, whether you want to be an advocate for Alzheimer's, programs and services, volunteer, help with our support groups, and then, of course, our fundraising events. And I happen to be on the fundraising team, so that's where I could go on forever. We have a hiking event. You can run with us for the Boston Marathon or Falmouth Road Race. I happen to manage a cycling event called the Ride to End Alz. Tons of events, walk to end Alzheimer's, and again, I could go on and on and on. But whether you want to fundraise or raise awareness, we have something for everyone.
Can you tell me a little bit about the Ride to End Alz? Because I'm starting to get into biking a little bit more now.
Yeah, I'm happy you asked that because I happen to be the director for the Ride to End Alz. It's a phenomenal one-day cycling event up in Hampton, New Hampshire. Starts and ends at Hampton Beach State Park. We have a route for everyone, which is 162 or 30 miles. We end with awesome celebration on the beach, barbecue, live music, free beer, which I always like to mention to our cyclists. And 90% of funds raised through the Ride to End Alz go directly towards research, which is unique to that event at the Mass New Hampshire chapter.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive for sure. How are you enjoying your time at the Expo so far?
Absolutely love it. We have actually never been an exhibitor before, so we were very curious to see how things were going, but we have given out tons of support cards as well as gotten a lot of interest in our events.
And as you're saying too, a lot of people are affected. It seems like you guys have been pretty busy at this booth too, so that's good.
Yeah, we find that a lot of people, while coming up, who are interested in learning more about our events or in need of support services, we just have a lot of conversations with folks, like I said, who have been affected by this devastating disease. So lots of great connections made here.
And where can people find out more about you guys online?
Yeah, alz.org/MANH.
Thank you very much.
Awesome. Yeah, thank you so much.
My name is Rachel Martin, and I'm from South Berwick, Maine.
So what are you here representing today?
Pumpkin Man Triathalon and Running Festival.
Tell me all about the the event.
Yes. Okay. So we are located in South Berwick, Maine, about an hour north of Boston, and it's a 2-day festival. So Saturday, September 6th, we have a sprint, Olympic, and aquabike triathlon. And then on Sunday, we have a 6-distance running festival. Everything from a 1-mile fun run, the American Pumpkin Pie 3.14 miler, the Jenny 8.675 309 miler. A half marathon and a 30K, which is a perfect fall marathon prep race. Yeah. And then we have a 6.6 mile hill climb challenge with a ruck division, or you could do it as a relay.
There's so much, so many things to touch on. I don't even know where to start.
Yeah.
So I'm an obstacle course racer turned trail runner, trying to turn into a little bit of a triathlete a little bit.
Amazing.
It's a little bit intimidating.
Okay.
Tell me about the sprint triathlon.
Okay, so the sprint triathlon, this is our 19th year. And our event is a USAT Main State Championship race. And so this is our 19th year. And we have been voted best beginners course, best swag, most scenic course. Our people are amazing. We have so many volunteers. So, but our course, we have a 0.3 mile swim. So this is the sprint tri. It's a 0.3 mile swim. 0.3 mile swim, a 15K bike, and then a 5K run. And then and then the Olympic is a 0.9 mile swim, 25K bike. Sorry, no, 25 mile bike. Okay. And then a 10K run.
Are you also a triathlete yourself?
Yes, I am.
And how long have you been with the company?
This is year 9.
Let's see.
Yeah.
And then when did you come up with the pump? 8.675 309 miler.
That's actually funny you asked me that, because I can remember exactly where I was. I was out for a run, and I was like running downtown, and I was heading on the side road, and I don't even think the song was playing, but I was trying to think of like different fun things to do, because I like to be creative with things. Yeah. And I was like, oh my God, the Jenny 8.675 309 miler. It's perfect.
That is pretty amazing.
Yeah.
And then you're also including rucking now too, which is also on the upward swing, I'd say, in terms of fitness. That's pretty awesome.
Oh yeah, it's so fun, actually. So the hill climb, it was actually inspired because are you familiar with Jesse Itzler? Or have you heard of Running Man?
Yes, yeah.
Okay, so actually, Jesse Itzler and his all-day running company, they had their very first public event at my venue. It was the Hell on the Hill Maine edition. Okay, and so then that gave me the idea to do like my own little mini hill climb there as well. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
And I'm definitely gonna be looking up you guys online. Where can people find out more about you?
Good. They can find us at Forward Motion Events, FORWARD Motion, MOTION, events, EVENTS.com.
And it also says not just a race, an award-winning experience. You win awards?
Absolutely. You can win awards. We also have a harvest brunch both days. We're not just chucking a bagel at you or half a banana. People rave about our post-race party. And what's really fun for the running festival, it's like super family friendly. We have fall games for the kids. And you can like buy additional brunch tickets for the family on Sunday, not Saturday for the tri, but on Sunday you can, and it's super fun.
And how are you enjoying your time at the Expo so far?
Oh, this has been great. It's been so much fun.
Thanks for taking the time to talk to me.
Of course.
Hi, I'm Joan Kyla from Cumberland, Maine.
And what are you here representing?
I am here with my company, Running Peas, running clothes for kids.
And when did you start this company?
We officially launched in July of 2024. It's been a 2-year process to get to this point, but we're super excited to get off the ground and build some grassroots movement to support running for kids and empowering kids to have fun with running and be confident.
And where did the name come from? Because it was definitely eye-catching and very cute.
Yeah, so it's a funny story. We called my son Little P when he was little. Theo, he's here, and he was actually the inspiration for the brand. I'm a longtime runner, former competitive runner, and we were visiting a running store in downtown Boston when he was 2, and he pulled out a pair of adult running shorts, and he said, "Mama, I want." And I was like, yes, and I want that for you because I'm sharing my passion with you. But when you look at all the other clothes out there for kids, they're big name brands and they're just advertising those names and their values. And I didn't want that for us. I didn't want that for my kids. I wanted something that was fun, had fun colors, and was soft. Our clothes are soft. They move with the kids. So that was the inspiration. And so because we called him Little P, I said, all right, Running Peas. And I had the logo, honestly, like the name and the logo before we walked out of the store.
That's fantastic. That's fantastic.
And that was 7 years ago.
And it's all about like filling a need that you see, like it was a gap. Like it makes sense for you to fill that too. And I see you have like a table for kids to color and stuff too, attracting the kids. That's great.
Yeah, I mean, we want kids to be able to come here and have fun. We're sponsoring the Kids Get Active Zone over there too, so they can test out their running skills by Chase the Light and some other activities. But you know, it's really about empowering kids to be active and have fun with it. You know, it doesn't have to be competitive, and it can be as competitive as they want, but you know, in reality, we're all just having fun with running and with athletics and sport.
I think fun is crucial to push too, because sometimes it's a punishment for things. Like, oh, you messed up, go run a lap.
Yes.
And if you make this a punishment, kids aren't going to enjoy running, so you have to keep it fun.
Exactly. And I fell in love with running on the playground. My friends and I used to play, do you remember Thundercats?
Yes, I do, yep.
Good.
Yeah.
So we used to play Thundercats on the playground. We would just like run around and chase each other and essentially playing tag. I mean, kids love to play tag, right? And that's running, and it's fun. And whether you're doing it in that way or you're running a fun run mile or a fun run half mile, like it's all supposed to just be fun. So that's what we want our clothes to remind kids of.
And how are you enjoying your time with the Expo so far?
It's great. This is like our coming out party, kind of. You know, this is our first really big event, and we're having a great time. And it's been really fun to connect and see the kids over in the active zone, because there's so much smiles going on, and they're happy, and they're coming here and they're seeing, you know, our stickers. And I just kind of love that the logo makes people smile. Yes. At the end of the day, if they can look at our clothes and be happy, like that's great.
If you don't smile at their logo, you're dead inside. Where can people find out more about you online?
Runningpeas.com, and we're also on Instagram, Running Peas Maine.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
You nailed it. You did great.
Thank you.
Ryan, Nashville, Tennessee.
I think the first time we talked, you were mainly selling the vests.
Yes.
Is that correct?
That is correct, yes. So Drank Full Hydration Packs, it's still the parent company, but of our new products here as well.
It's funny seeing this grow, because last time it was just like a couple on the side. Now this is the big thing?
Yeah, it's funny. What started as the sideshow became the main show. So it's the demand for the butt napkins. People love the brand. People love the product, and they see a real need out there.
We bought some last year. Happy to say I haven't needed to use them yet, but these crises do occur, right?
They do, yes. And we've expanded our line, not for just running, but for camping, hiking, and hunting, and so forth as well.
So how's business been going?
It's great. We got into a bunch of Dick's Sporting Goods, Sierra Trading Post, and some other big retailers. So no, it's going really well.
You've been in the run show for the past 2 years. What are your thoughts of it now expanding and also being the outdoor expo as well?
Yeah, it works out for us. You know, we say anybody with a butt, you know, can use our products. So we're happy to see the growth from that side as well.
And what's the difference between the different styles of like running versus camping versus?
It's just different packaging. It's still the same clean wipe, but we're just marketing it towards different people.
And then where can people find out more about you online?
Amazon, probably your best shot, or buttnapkins.com.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Tim Richmond. We're based out of the Boston area for our triathlon races with Max Performance.
So I know we talked last year. I was super excited about taking it on. I've been biking more. Still haven't get used to swimming yet, but I want to check out your events. Tell me about them.
Yeah, so we organize sprint and Olympic distance triathlons. So pretty attainable for folks that are maybe making the crossover from obstacle racing or running kind of standalone. They're all spread throughout Massachusetts, beginner friendly. Some of our races, we also have a beer garden to celebrate at the end, but everybody always gets a really organized race experience. We have some killer race medals over here that you can take a peek at. Yeah, and so, we're all about the athlete experience.
So I think we talked about last time too, but like Westport has a special place in my heart. How's the Buzzards Bay one?
It's amazing, yeah. The landscape and the backdrop of Horseneck Beach and swimming there. It can get a little churned up at time to time, but last year we actually had just a glass of an ocean. It was so good, and it's just a beautiful, it's kind of like farm meets ocean with the countryside a little bit, and it's, for a lot of folks, it's a hidden gem down in Westport, and it's a beautiful spot. It's one of our favorite races.
Absolutely. What advice would you give to someone who's dipping their toe in triathlon?
I think just trying to, as far as the race experience, know that you should just try to finish it and not gas it too hard. Don't, leave some in the tank for the next race. And I think that's really probably the single biggest advice, because you certainly don't want to get through the swim hammer yourself on the bike and then walk on the run the whole time.
Yes, absolutely. Pacing is really tough with like multiple disciplinary sports like this, so that's for sure. How are you enjoying your time at the Expo this year?
Really good, yeah. We've seen a lot of good foot traffic. This is a different setting. Last year was at the Heinz, now we're at the Boston Convention Center, and this is a big place. Yeah, it really is. A lot of great vendors and athletes here too.
And where can people find out more about you and your races online?
Yeah, you can check us out at maxperformanceonline.com. We also have some great things happening on social media with free entries and race giveaways and swag too. So check us out.
Hopefully I'll see you in person next time.
Awesome, Mike.
My name is Patrick Karen. I'm from the Boston, Massachusetts area.
And what are you here representing?
Here representing the Trail Animals Running Club, or TARC.
Tell us all about TARC.
TARC is a beginner-friendly running club here in the greater Boston area. We host 11 races throughout the year, from 5K to 100-plus miles, and also host group runs pretty much every weekend here in the Boston area.
So last year I was optimistic about hopefully checking out one of your events. Holy shit, do they sell out very quickly?
Yes, they are popular. We keep all of our races, the entry fees incredibly low, and so yeah, they tend to go quickly. And yeah, if you want in on a TARC race, you better keep your eye on the calendar.
Yeah, there's a whole registration thing just for the waiting list I saw. So it was organized, but I'm like, oh man, I'm never getting in.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, if you get on the wait list, there's a good chance that you might get in, so definitely hold out hope.
Perfect. And then I actually just had a friend just take on the Tarctic Yeti one, I think, too.
Yes.
Said it absolutely kicked her ass. I heard it was like very icy and rough out there. Tell me more about your individual events.
Yeah, so we kick off the year with the Tarctic Frozen Yeti, which is at Hale Education in Westwood, Massachusetts. It has both a 30-hour race and a 15-mile night race. So that's one of our more challenging races for sure, especially with the conditions. This year, they got wicked cold and wicked icy. But people threw down, and yeah, it was a good time. We have a inside heated lodge, so it's quite welcoming every loop when you come in.
Also a trap. Sounds like a trap.
Yeah, it could be a trap too. Yeah. It is, maybe too welcoming. Yeah. And then, this month we have also at Hale Education the TARC to Hale and Back, which has a 6-hour and a 5K. In April, we have Don't Run Boston, which is the Saturday before the Boston Marathon. So if you prefer to run trails, we have a 50K and a 50-miler at Blue Hills. Then we have the Spring Classic later in April. In May, we have the Wapak Trail out in more central western Mass. And that's pretty gnarly, kind of Southern Whites-esque. June, we have a 12K on the Skyline Trail in Boston, in the Blue Hills. And then we've got, what else? Summer Classic in August, Noon Hill Reservation. We have the Fall Classic at Great Brook Farm State Park. Then we have the TARC Stonecat Trail Festival, which has a distance for everyone from 10K to 100K, as well as a youth fun run. And then we have the Turkey Trot. So if you're into turkey trots, come to the Turkey Trot, 6-hour. And then we end it with the Winter Classic in December at the Fells. So yeah, full calendar.
Yeah. So check out the website and start looking immediately because they will fill up. How are you enjoying your time at the Expo this year?
Yeah, the Expo's been great. It's been awesome chatting to people about trail running. I feel like trail running is in the limelight these days. So yeah, I'm excited to get more people out on the trails and realize, that there's a place for everyone.
And where can people find out more about you guys online?
Trailanimals.com and also Trail Animals Running Club on social media. That's where you'll find us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Welcome back.
Thank you to everyone that talked to us both on and off the mic, as well as Raccoon Events for inviting us to cover the event again. It was a good time. Is it Raccoon Media or Raccoon Events?
I think it's Raccoon Media.
That's what I thought too, but events would make more sense. But yeah, they've been very great. And we were actually able to talk to the same guy who we talked to last year about it as well. But for related episodes, episode 318 was the Run Show Boston with interviews part 1. This was from 2023, as well as episode 319, the Run Show Boston with interviews part 2, also 2023.
Episode 369.
Wow, you giggled at that.
The Boston Run Show, Part 1, with Russell Hoyt, Pete
Kostolnik,
Corey Waltering, and David Barkley, and more.
Yeah, that was last year, 2024.
And episode 370, The Boston Run Show Part 2, with Kelly Roberts, Danny Dreyer, Bad Boy Running, John Kelly, and more.
Yeah, maybe I should have added some names to this title. Well, it's time to change it. Subscribe and follow everywhere you listen to podcasts. It'd be greatly appreciated, so you don't miss a weekly episode. You can also leave us a review. I don't know if we have any new reviews.
No, we don't.
But we do have the Spotify comments that I meant to talk about last time. So this one was only a month ago, and this one I got a notification for. This is from Ethan Pops, who commented on episode 421, the Disney Dopey Challenge with Sarah Hetzel. He said, I appreciate you trying to pronounce the names. Almost had my last name.
Oh, man.
I'm going to say Pops.
I probably said Pup. I definitely butchered it because I don't know it now.
For sure. And then there was another one way back. If you're still listening, Mike Tremonti. He said, I had to stop what I'm doing to tell you two to watch The Goonies. In response to Q&A, what did you think about this episode? Was that like a thing that went out?
I have no idea.
But that was episode 346, Austin Azar and Grit Games, Spartan 3K, World's Toughest Mudder, and Rubik's Cubes. Oh, I guess I have to approve that comment.
Huh.
From 2 years ago. I'm all caught up. I reviewed all 2 comments. No podcast is big on Spotify, no matter what people tell you.
Follow us on social media. We are on Instagram and Facebook at Obstacle Running Adventures.
You can support us financially over on patreon.com. You can join on the website and don't join on the app because Apple will tack on all these garbage fees.
And you can not donate. Is it donate?
I don't know what you're talking about.
You can contribute $2 a month or $10 a month.
Yeah. Coming up next will be part 2 of the Boston Run Show and Outdoor Expo. And I think there might be, because I think I got around 3 hours in total, unless I just edited these a lot. It might be even longer than part 1. We had some great interviews, and that one coming up next week. Caitlin, you have a joke or a quote?
Is from Emily Coxhead. That can't be her last name. But it says, stop being so mad at yourself for being exhausted, for crying, losing patience, or not having the time or energy to do absolutely everything. Stop being so hard on yourself. All of this is incredibly hard, and you are doing okay.
And a joke?
Where is the best place to learn how to make ice cream?
Where?
At Sunday school.
Nice. All right, well, that just about wraps it up. My name is Michael Stefano.
And my name is Caitlin Ritter.
And we'll talk to you next weekend.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for listening.
We hope you're feeling motivated, inspired, and ready to take on your next race or training run.
If you've enjoyed this week's episode, leave us a review
And share it with your fellow adventurous friends.
Follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Obstacle Running Adventures.
Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss an episode.
Join us every week for more news, stories, and interviews from the community.
Our intro song was Streaker by Straight Up.
And our outro music is Iron Paw by The Best.
Mic test. We're testing in the seaport, bitches.
Sorry, I'm like, we're a little messy.
Oh, yeah, we're good.
You want to loop back later anyway? As we just finish it up?
Is that okay for you?
Yeah, you can finish doing whatever you're doing,
How
too.
soon will this air?
Tomorrow or next week, depending on how many interviews.
As long as you'll definitely come back.
Yeah, we'll be back.
Then take a pass for the moment.
Not a problem. Not a problem. Yeah. All right.
I'll just finish with it.
Okay. Yeah, you're good.
Look, Jack, I'm going to be famous. He knows more about this stuff than I do, but yeah.
Okay. We'll start with your name and where you're from.